Hello, friends. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today on our podcast, we're talking about 7 key ingredients for building your connections. I love connections. I am a extrovert, but you're going to need to, even if you're not an extrovert, your connections are really key. And they're actually the secret sauce to how I've been really so very successful with my business. It's been about networking. It's been about the connections that I have created and nurtured over all of these years. And so I have 7 key ingredients. They all start with A, and I'm actually pulling this from a section of one of my very first books called The Inspired Business Toolkit. That I wanted to really kind of dive in a little bit deeper today and share some of this with you. So let's get down to it, shall we? Ingredient number 1 for building your connections is awareness. Awareness. Now, it's important for you to recognize, awareness is about waking up. Waking up. It's about noticing that your connections are all around you, right? And you're going to meet people every single day if you actually leave the house, or if you actually get on Zoom. And we all have a different lifestyle. Some of us are out and about all day. Some of us are on Zoom all day. We have all somehow survived COVID. And so each morning I pray that God will introduce me to the people he wants me to meet. Now, that could be a referral on Facebook. That could be somebody that sees what I post. That could be somebody listening to this podcast. So, hello, hello. And so I am not sure exactly where those people are going to come from, but I want to be open. I want to be aware. I want to be really with my eyes wide open, I guess is what I would call it. And I want you to think about your connectivity quotient. So how connected are you in your life today on a 1 to 10 scale? And what could you do differently today to be more connected? Are you basically in groups but sitting on the sideline? Are you like a lurker? Are you a stalker, a lurker, and a stalker? We don't need any more of those, right? So are you participating? Okay, so there you go. Ingredient number 2 is action. Nothing happens if nothing happens, right? And so nothing happens if you do not take action. And so I love this phrase, go, do, and be seen. And I believe that I need to be my own PR agent, at my live events, at my virtual events. It's my job. It's not my team's job. Yes, I have a team. Yes, 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 I have a team. But that no one can be me, right? No one can be me. And so it's important for me to recognize who am I meeting, who's on my list to follow up with. I actually have a list here on a post-it next to my desk, right this very moment that I'm looking at, and it's called my wish list. My wish list. These are women I would love, love, love to be in my mastermind. Ooh, yeah. They are the women that I am calling forward. They might not even know that their name is on my list, but we have talked recently, or they reached out along the path, and I'm just keeping their name right there as a form of my action taking. So ingredient number 1 is action. What actions are you taking to connect? And how can you follow up today? The fortunes and the follow up. Ingredient number 3 is advantage. Advantage. We all have an advantage that can be used in networking or connecting. This is really the power of we. And so we have different advantages because we want to connect deeply. We want to really tap into what are your gifts and strengths. How can I best serve you? Right? Then when you go out and about, when I'm thinking of myself only, then that's really not a good way to build a relationship. How can I help you? How can I help give you an idea? How can I share a resource? How can I connect you to somebody that you need to know? Just yesterday, I connected 2 women that don't know each other. I just did a little I asked one person on Facebook. I asked the other person because one of them is going through a health challenge that the other one has been through. So sometimes this is not about business at all. It's about the advantage of the fact that I know both of these women, and one's in the middle of this, one has already walked through this health challenge. So that is an advantage. That is an advantage. All right. And number 4 ingredient is authenticity. One easy way to increase your connectivity is to be real and tell your story. Here's the deal, friends. The people you meet want to know the real you. They want to see you. They want to hear your weirdness, your wackiness, your journey. They want to hear what makes you you. I've been, I'm always posting vulnerable, crazy things on my page because, hey, that's who I am. And so if I'm not acting like me, then it's hard to be somebody else. Amen. It's really hard for me to be somebody other than me. So my authenticity is one of the main things that I truly love about myself. But for years, I thought there was something wrong with me. Oh, you tell too much. You're too emotional. You're too this. You're too that. La 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 la. So I'm going to ask you. I mean, what don't people connect more when you're sharing something nitty gritty? Are you sharing your real story? Are you sharing the good, bad, the ugly, the behind the scenes? Are you going to let people into your life? Because this is going to build those relationships. This is going to build those connections. Ingredient number 5 is your attitude. It is truly important that you go with the right attitude. And we have to be willing to get honest about that. If you're connecting out of guilt or responsibility, that shows up. And, sometimes I think I don't want to go either. I have a networking event to go to tomorrow, in fact. And, don't tell anybody, but sometimes I think, oh, I don't want to go. Even though I love people, once I'm there, I'm totally great. I am going to have a fabulous time. But if you're cranky, moody, nasty, mean, and going to be like the mean girl in the room, why don't you just go ahead and stay home? I mean, let's just stay home. If you don't want to be there, if you're cranky, cuckoo head, then do not go. Okay, I'm just going for it right here. You know what I'm saying? This me being this weird and wacky on this podcast is probably the best thing that could happen because you are going to either hate me or love me. Amen. So ingredient number 5 was your attitude. What is your attitude towards connecting? And how might you need to reframe your thinking? Ingredient number 6 is accountability. It's critical for our connections to stick, for us to be accountable. This relates to many things we've already covered. And so I'm sorry, I was reading from my own book. So the bottom line is that we have to stop being vague and take ownership of our personal connections. Who do you need to be accountable to? So I connect and I am accountable in my mastermind group. I am accountable with my sponsor from my 12-step program. And these all build bigger relationships, bridges. These build long-term, strengthened, deep, vulnerable, truth-telling places. And so that is key for me. If you don't have any places that you're accountable or truth-telling, then I highly suggest you go figure out where and lock yourself in. I'm going to go ahead and put a shameless self-promotion for the Braver Together Mastermind, which is entirely built on choosing brave, being together, learning, growing, asking, doing all these cool things in a sacred circle. Okay, back to our regular scheduled program. Ingredient number 7 is adventure. Adventure. So what if you think of your connecting, your networking as a giant research project, and that you're studying each person, and that you're going there as a roving reporter. You're going there to find out more about people. You're not trying to sell your little widget, because if you go there trying to sell your little widget or your program or your system or your this or your that, you kind of go in and then you get mad. It can taint you. So I suggest you just reframe it, and that you're going here to meet new people, to meet a new friend, to build a bridge. You never know who's going to be in that room, in that Zoom room, in that, I've met people at church functions. I have met people at the gym. I have met people at potlucks in the neighborhood. That's still a thing. Yeah, we actually had one. We had a neighborhood meet and greet thingamabob in our neighborhood and it's starting to take a comeback, right? Because people don't even know each other in the same neighborhood. So that is it. That is your seven. Number seven is adventure. And again, I just want to remind you this, we are in the middle of my 31 days of podcasting. Stay tuned for more. Stay tuned as we wander down these paths together. If you want to talk to me, hello, of course you do. So just reach out, and all of my gadgets and goodies are in the show notes, but you can go to dianecunningham.com, and I will see you soon. Okay, go connect. Bye-bye.